3 straight divisional opponents starting with Dallas tomorrow. How do you mentally prepare for a stretch like that?
Well, same way you do every other game, I guess. Obviously, they're big points, and we've been talking about it for quite some time here because we just faced Winnipeg a couple times and Mini once already, and then we got them both again. Like it's not just how many games you win. It is a little bit about like who you're getting those wins against, and obviously being in the division and as tight as it is. These games can mean a lot, so we're putting a high importance on it, and I think the guys understand it, and along with the work ethic that we need, I do think like right now we need to kind of loosen up a little bit and play some more instinctual hockey because we're doing it at times, and then it seems like sometimes in games we're getting tight.
And last night's start, you guys came out with firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
How was there anything different that kind of changed that you had that good of a start?
Well, I think the guys knew it was going to be a big one. I think they knew Edmonton was playing the night before. I think our top guys had a really good first period. They were flying out there and checking really hard. That dwindled away a little bit in the second period, and it ended up costing us. And then I thought we kind of got it back again for the third. Like, Edmonton's going to have something to say about it, and they're going to push back. There's no question. I didn't think we managed that real well, like our game management in the second period. Not just like the time defending, but then like how do we like spend a little bit more time in the offensive zone? Some of the entries or decisions weren't great, so we're sending them back in our zone. So I think there's a little, we hadn't talked about that for a while because it hasn't been an issue for us. So now it pops up last night. We remind our guys. We had a lengthy conversation about what exactly that means and how we can kind of manage the game better than we did last night to not make it so one-sided, and that could have been the difference in the hockey game for us. So hopefully we learn from that, and we're moving on to bigger and better here this week.
As you mentioned learning from that, I know you were still pretty upset even though it was a win over the New York Rangers. Was there any improvement from what you saw in that game to the Edmonton game?
Oh yeah, no question. I think like the Ranger game, we had a lot of guys that did not play well at the same time. And that was kind of a one-off for us. Like you're going to have, every game you're going to have some guys that are playing really good in their potential and some guys that aren't so good, and then you got, some guys in between. That's what a team's about, right? Picking up each other and covering up for people that are having a tough night, and I try to deploy them properly according to how I'm watching them play. But I thought we played hard against Edmonton in a lot of ways, but it just wasn't our best second period, and that's when ultimately that cost us the game. But we had some competitive guys last night, and in very few passengers. We had some guys that struggled a little bit at times, but that was a little more whole team, which is why I was so upset about it.
Ross is back on the top line, it looked like. Start of the year, he was red hot. Since coming back, its production hasn't quite been there. What's kind of been the difference between those two stretches?
Yeah, confidence, playing with the puck, skating with the puck. I think like early in the year, really playing to his identity, right? I actually spoke with him this morning because like I'm seeing flashes of it, but there's certain things that like when he's really good that he can provide that not a lot of guys provide. Part of that is the bite and energy and checking, like the forecheck ability and like going hard in the net. And I felt like start of the year with Mikko and Mac that he really took that as identity, knows that he needs to provide it to those two guys, and he's got away from a little bit, which is why I'm moving back. And I also stressed that I need to see that for him to play there. So hopefully he comes out and he's re-energized and can do that. But I think it's just strictly being the best that he can be in his identity, and he was doing that for a long stretch at the start of the year before the injury. So.
Mackenzie Blackwood let in 3 goals last night. It's the first time that he's let in more than 2.
Yeah.
Made some big saves last night. What did you think of his game as far as?
I thought he was good.
That's
I don't see any difference in his game last night from the other games. I just think you've got some elite shooters on the other side, and we did give up a number of like high danger scoring chances. And he made some big saves on a few of them, and some got by him. Even the first goal we deflect, like it's going one way, and we kind of change the direction off our stick. Well, that's a little bit more unfortunate. I think, he would say he'd want it back, but I understand why it slipped through him because he's moving and changes direction. So he's been great. He's been giving us a chance. Even last night, he gave us a chance to win. You know what I mean? He keeps it like for us at 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, makes some big saves. And then he had to make a bunch in the second period too. We're under duress a little bit.
Sorry if you talked about it last night, but Sam Girard makes his return after missing the 3 games. How did he do?
He was great. Yeah, I thought he was good. Like, he didn't. 3 games isn't a lot, so you're expecting the player to come back like really close to the top of their game, and he was. I didn't see any change in his game. It's when you start seeing guys out for weeks at a time, months at a time, when they come back, it can take them a little while to get used to the speed and intensity of the game. But after just missing 3, I thought G was great.
And I know he came back out in the third, but is Duran okay after what happened in the second?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, no new injuries from last night.
Cool. And then any progress on Miles Wood and Val Nichushkin?
So Miles is still working through his return, but Val is getting close. Yeah, he's getting close. I don't know which day or which game that's going to be, but hopefully soon.
Are these day games a little bit of a tougher start for you guys? I mean, you got the back-to-back day games.
It's different preparation, So today you should already be thinking about it, and probably a little bit more. And then when you wake up, your mind's already going to be going to the game. So a little bit different preparation. I don't think the guys change their routines much when they get to the rink. I think they're great. I love the afternoon game. I think there's a little excitement around an afternoon game. That you're going to go leave it all on the ice and still be able to get out of there and get some rest without pushing to those late starts like last night. So I think our guys like it. I think we should come out with a real